Okay.
All right, guys. So, welcome to the first episode of. We still don't have a name for this podcast yet. We have a couple of ideas. Maybe Mofe can help us. So,
Give it a name for your podcast.
yeah. So, the first idea we have is the Creatives Podcast, something like that. Yeah, it feels kind of drop, right?
Creative podcasts. Why? Why were you thinking like that?
No, okay. So, but what I wanted to do is that normally I wanted to build a set, and I wanted to call it like the Gray Corner. So,
The grey corner.
yeah,
Grey corner is not bad. But is it going to be like a grey space?
yeah, it is.
Creatives are usually like really colorful people. We always try to keep safe.
I know we're going to put like colors, but it's not going to be like the idea. The whole palette is going to be like gray. It's going to look nice, right?
Maybe when we start to talk, then we start to think about the name we're going to use for your podcast. But right now, I am bland. You already shocked me with creative space. Like, why?
Don't help me. Don't help me. It's okay.
Creative.
Leave it. Okay, guys. So Mofe needs no introduction. Everybody knows Mofe Bamuyiwa. Well, or if you don't know, well, this is the beautiful Mofe Bamuyiwa.
I like that you use the word beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful, isn't she? Like, I like her hair, I like her style, I like everything about Mofe.
Yes.
And,
Original Mofe.
yeah, and she's been a big supporter of my brand from day one. Yeah. So thank you, Mofe.
Is that my mic?
That's your camera.
Oh, sorry, is that my camera?
This is your mic.
This is my mic.
If you can get a bit closer, that would be nice. Just lift it a bit.
Up.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mofe needs no introduction. She's a portrait photographer. She does fine art. She shoots kids amazingly well. And, and she's just awesome. She's just all around awesome, And so let's just have her introduce herself.
My name is Mofe Bamuyiwa, and I have settled with calling myself a visual artist. So it means that I can photograph and express myself through just anything.
Anything that's the visual arts, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to express how I feel about the subject, and welcome to my wonderful space, or my mental space, or my mind space, but just using photography as a tool and looking forward to using other tools to express my art. So I just had to center it to visual artists.
Yeah, so I feel like it's interesting that you say you're a visual artist, because that's what I call myself as well.
Yeah.
And it opens up the possibilities. You're not just looking, and you understand that your camera at the end of the day is just a tool.
It's just a tool
for you to express your art. You could express your art in so many other ways. As long as it's a visual art you're working on. So yeah, it's interesting that you say that.
Because now, looking at it now, everybody's handling a camera. Everybody's handling a phone. So right now as we're speaking, somebody is taking a photograph somewhere. So literally everybody's a photographer documenting. We see what's going on the internet. You can only take a picture with your phone, and it will tell a story without you going through the whole technical process of getting an image. It's really about what story you're about to tell, or what you're trying to portray at that moment. And evidence doesn't need to wait till when you bring a camera. You can quickly use your phone to get an evidence of, look at what has been happening on the internet. You can only use your phone and just to get an evidence of something, and it's the phone that saved the day. You didn't have to wait to get a journalist or you get a camera and all that stuff. So at the end of everything, it's you being an artist that keeps you different from every other person
that has access to a camera.
Yeah, that has access to the camera. So
so it's very interesting. It's very interesting. That's something I always thought about how important is the story you're trying to tell as a photographer or as an artist. Let me put it like that. It's very important because everybody has access to a camera. Everybody can take a picture.
Now.
Yes, now. But what sets you apart is the story you're telling with these pictures. And I feel like that's something that photographers need to pay attention to. Like, okay, what are you photographing?
Yes.
And be very intentional about that. What do you think about that?
Well, now that we are already doing this, which is such a wonderful platform for creatives to come here and, enlighten ourselves about, our journey as photographers, if that's what we want to call ourselves. So a lot of people don't know their niche. A lot of people don't know how they can coin out their style or how they can create a market for themselves. And because they got carried away with it's photography, this is how things should be shot. You have to use this particular softbox every time. You have to use this parabolic softbox like everybody was using. They just follow the trends that this is what you have to do to get a particular portrait, but you've forgotten that you also have to have a visual. You first of all have to have how you want your images to feel. There's something that brought you into the photography industry that has inspired you to still be there right now. So if you're a photographer and you cannot find your niche, it's either you came in maybe because you wanted to hustle and make some money because yes, photography is bringing in some change. You can use it as a side hustle, or you are an artist and you feel like if I start to do this thing, people are not going to buy into it. So for me to make money, because of course the employment rate in Nigeria is pretty low and everybody's just relying on what they can put their hands on and all of that. So because this is what's selling, family portrait, lifestyle portrait, this is what is selling. But what I really like is shooting. What can we say? What's random?
Maybe landscapes, for example.
Yeah, landscapes.
Or something that's not so popular.
You can even sell landscapes.
Yeah.
But let's just look. There's some people that might just like to. I'm thinking
Or
of
maybe astro photography.
No, yeah. Who is going to buy astrophotography here in Nigeria? Like, what's my business with the universe? What's my business with the moon? I see the moon. Like, okay, tell me about it.
But I totally understand that. And people always like to buy into what is popular.
Yeah.
And people want to, push into whatever is selling at the moment. But I feel like the best place you can be is doing something that you really actually love. And that you can even actually be a pioneer in that field.
Yeah.
You can, because it's not popular does not mean that. I feel like the world is so big now and you can actually market your products to, or your services or your products to anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So stop limiting yourself with what you feel like the industry in Nigeria needs.
Yes, and I think another thing again is that photographers need to also explore a lot of things. There's a market in the lifestyle, family, children portraits, and the likes of that. But we need to explore a lot of things and find yourself as a photographer. What do you really, really like to photograph? What's that thing that keeps you drawn and keeps you staying? For instance, now, you can decide that you love photographing family, but you don't like photographing family in the studio. I want to take family portraits outside, or I just want to take family documentary style portraits
in a different way.
So you have to be able to, and again, another thing again, you need to, as photographers, what we need to do as well is look for a problem or how you can be different. Finding a problem. What's something that, okay, this is like a cliche, everybody's doing it. What can we do differently? Okay, let me start a project and see if I can sell this kind of style and people will buy it. You'll be shocked. And what people are going, because people are tired of the monotonous, repeated pattern of style of photography.
People don't even know they'll
it's
like
just
something
like
until they see it.
I have a client that comes to my studio every year for family portraits. I'm thinking of another way of documenting you from how you did it last year. I know that Nigerians are very fashionable people. They like to, wear ashoebi, look rich.
They like to be glamorous.
They like to look glamorous, but we can sell other style because they don't know. You need to make them know that this is also another style, and you'll be shocked that is what they want, because sometimes they cannot really document. There are some things that they cannot document naturally when they are in the studio, unlike when they're in their houses. So people need to be able to explore and look for problems, fill in the gaps, and how you can be able to discover yourself as an artist.
So I think what I'm hearing you say, and what I want to point out to people as well, is that you have to. It's your responsibility to show your potential clients what is possible, because they really don't know. clients will always want to shoot what they've seen before.
It's only what they've seen
You know,
that they will,
they are not probably not as creative as you. They don't
Yeah.
have that eye that you have. So sometimes if they haven't seen a particular thing done a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
you know, very few, some of them with exception, but most of them don't even know that, okay, this is possible.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility as a creative to, you know, show them the possibilities and say,
Sure.
okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
We can do this. We can create other products apart from what you are used to seeing, you know, shooting in the studio. Okay, mommy and daddy stand here.
Yeah.
Child stand there, lights,
Yeah.
side lights, canvas.
That's polite. Everybody smile, say cheese.
All right, yeah. So that would you know put me into the next thing I want to talk about, which is related to this and what we're talking about in the car as well, and how, you know, we have to have bigger goals and see, you know, bigger possibilities with ourselves and our brands. Like photography cannot just be looking forward to the next client coming in.
No.
Or maybe not all photographers, but at least certainly me and you, I know, you don't want to just, okay, let's wait for the next client to come in.
Yeah.
Let's do the next 200K
Extend.
shoot or 100K or whatever amount you charge. You know, it becomes monotonous. And as creatives, you know, things that are monotonous like that, they don't go well with us. At one point, you're tired. You want to do something different. So I'm like, we need to, photographers need to open their minds up to other possibilities of what, you know, yourself and your brand can bring to the table apart from just taking pictures.
Yeah.
So me, for example, this podcast is one of those things. Like me thinking about, okay, how else can I be of influence in this industry apart from taking pictures and showing on Instagram and people typing fire, fire, fire.
Let's see your hair. Let's see your
This
hair.
one is
let's
mad.
see
I'm
your-
hiding is rough. I'm hiding it is rough.
Yeah.
You know, or people. I'm posting the next picture on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, we need to see more exhibitions on photographers. We need to see. Look at what Kelechi Amadi just did with photographing
Yeah.
landscapes of Nigeria and exhibiting that.
Yes.
We need people to work more on this kind of project, interesting projects that can go global. We need to see more collaborations with brands, and we need people to be intentional about this. So, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, let's have a bigger. We're bigger than what we see.
Yeah. So another thing again that I can add to that is photographers sometimes or most times we feel very stuck. And when you're feeling stuck, I think it's trying to tell you that you are more than this. When you're feeling stuck.
That makes sense.
You know, so when you're stuck, you're like, is this all? That cannot be all. So we need to understand that we already have the gift and talent. You're already an artist. Don't let the photography don't let that camera limit you. There's actually more that you can do beyond that camera. That, okay, just in that studio or doing my weddings, there's a lot you can do with that. So imagine, okay, so sometimes I sit down and I'm like, okay, Mofe, imagine that you are working in an oil company and you are the CEO of a particular department, you know, and you're earning like, you know that kind of
couple of figures.
and I love photography. What would you shoot?
Ooh, that's a very good question. If so, basically the question is, if money wasn't an object,
If money wasn't an object,
what would you shoot? What would you do?
So that is where we need to open our minds to be able to see beyond. There's so many projects I've been doing that I've not posted. I'm always tempted to post it, but I'm just like, no, Instagram cannot limit where this is supposed to go to.
We're working for Instagram nowadays.
I don't want to work for Instagram, please.
We're all employed by Instagram. We're not collecting salary.
No, I'm telling you, and we have to post it.
And we're not collecting salary.
And there is our data. We're paying them. What's the paying? We're using data.
So yes, it's really interesting, and I like the way these conversations are just, you know, sipping into each other.
Yes.
But you know, we are in this place where we're almost working for social media. Not almost, we actually are, and it is the biggest influence on our work. For example, we crop our pictures 4x5 because Instagram says we have to crop it 4x5. And some pictures look better in 2x3.
Imagine
some look better in a square crop.
Yeah.
But because Instagram has said 4x5 is the best way to show this thing, we're all, when I suffered this, when I had to print some of my work recently, and you know, it was 2x3 ratio I wanted to print, but all of them were in 4x5. So I had to start recropping, and it wasn't doing so well. Let's just take a break. All right, so we're talking about, you know, if money was an object, what would you do? And I said, I'd like to travel across Africa
Yeah.
and make portraits that kind of preserve African cultures because it's dying and, it keeps regressing, as time goes on. So I like to, take those photographs and, just the way African people have lived lives is very interesting, and I like to show that in my
Yeah.
photographs. I feel like one of that thing is that you have to find out what you love and then photograph that. I used to say, "What do you love? Shoot that." If you love something, then you'll be careful about how you photograph it. You'll be careful about how
Yeah.
you represent it. You'll be careful about how you portray it. That's the
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
So if you love something, then you shoot it well.
Yeah.
Somebody said if you don't like love, you can't shoot weddings properly, anyways. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to something more interesting. Let's move on to you, Mofe.
Ask me any question.
So I think I've seen on your story on your statuses before. Maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
not recently, but I know that you have had a lot of people think you're a guy.
I'm still getting it.
Still,
Yes.
what's that
Even-
like?
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay to think that it's a man that can do the job, right?
Is it okay? It's not okay to think
No,
that.
it's okay to feel that. So it's okay for them to feel like that because that's how the society has perceived that it's a man's job to take photographs. In fact, when I was younger, when I was in secondary school, the lady that came to come and take our passports then in school, there was a woman that came in and said, "So a woman can take pictures," Though I didn't see myself as a photographer then, I was seeing myself as someday I'm going to be a dancer or I'm going to be working in one. I'm going to be at. I didn't know what I wanted to be when I was in secondary school. By the way, I just knew that it was art, but I didn't know where to direct it. So don't let me go to that side. So the lady came in and I saw that it was a woman taking photographs. So even when I was younger, I thought it was only men
That's
that could do, photographs or that could be photographers. So I'm here now as a photographer and I'm still getting that.
One of the
In
best
fact,
photographers in Nigeria, by the way.
Please slap
Oh,
it.
shit. And they're still thinking you're a guy.
In fact, I just shot. I'm even going to post that pictures pretty soon. I can't wait to post that pictures. The pictures are so amazing. When she came in, she still thought she's a pregnant woman. Even when she spoke with me, she thought maybe it was just
Maybe you're the secretary
The
or
secretary or-
the assistant that picked
so
up
when
the
I
phone.
when I got it, I was like, hello, because I still spoke with her before she got into the studio. So I was like, hello, you're welcome, and all that. I said, okay, and blah blah blah. So I asked her, is it the same color so that we can know the backgrounds we're going to use and blah blah blah. And I came back again to check on her if she was done with her makeup, and she was like, okay, so is Mofe still come? When is Mofe coming? I was like,
So this is Mofe.
I'm the
She's
one.
in front of you.
She's like, oh my God, I thought you were a guy. I'm so sorry. I've been waiting for him since.
Jesus.
I'm like, but I've posted my picture on my Instagram. But now,
People will not know.
Instagram cannot see it. Everybody cannot see
Yeah.
Instagram. And I do a lot of stories. I try to do stories that show my pictures, but I think it's not enough. So this is where I come in saying, you know what, Mofe, that this introvert life is not for you. You need to be more than what they see online, the pictures. Let them see not the brand, because let them see the personality
Behind the brand.
behind the brand. Let them see the personality behind the beautiful images that people, let them see the artists. So this is why we need this platform.
This is why we're outside.
Yeah, we're outside. This is where we're outside,
That's what we're doing outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we talked about in the car earlier about
Yeah.
how why we're introverts as photographers, some of us, and even the ones that were not introverts before, because of the kind of job we do, some of us are just stuck behind their computer
Photographers
somewhere.
are not have you gisted with when photographers
They
are
like to talk.
gisting, they like to talk. They're the ones that talk the most. They're the ones that they're the ones that gossip the most.
Jesus.
So otherwise they're saying they're introverts. But I think what happened is it's the job process that keeps us
So the thing about personality is that whatever you
Isolated.
feed is what grows, and if you're not really feeding the outside part of you, the extrovert part of you, then it starts to die.
Yes,
and
yes.
then you start and I would just like to point out that not necessarily good to go out, because me, for example, I'm an introvert. I don't really go out. I don't really do. You will not find me anywhere. I'm in my house or at the back of my computer editing a
So you're
picture.
quite predictable.
No, I'm not predictable.
So that's it now.
No,
Because
but what I'm trying to say is that you can put yourself out there more, not necessarily by going out.
Yeah.
So what we're doing, for example, is something like that. So what I started to do like about a year ago when I started YouTube was that I started to put my face outside more.
Yeah.
I started to show me more. Before, most people didn't know who I was or what I looked like. But I started to do that more. I started to put myself out there more. And that's always good for the brand, isn't
yes,
it?
I think it's very good. And aside that, you're talking something about this introvert part. I think people that are in the creative space are not really, really introverts. I think it's just the work process, the workflow
The
that
condition
goes
make
around. Because
resistant.
because after that you have to do the post production. After the post production, another one is coming in. You have to do it, and our job cannot really employ as many people to be able to deliver, the deliverables. We can't do as much. We can't deliver. In fact, even though we can employ people to do the job for us, we
You
still
want to
have
do
to.
it yourself.
You still
You have to put the salt
you have to
yourself.
put him against it. You have to put him.
They cannot do it like you.
They can't do it like
No,
you.
they can't do it to
So
your
you
taste.
still have to be there, and that has been able to confine us into this your office space alone. And I think it's something that photographers should start working on, because it's actually affecting our mental health a lot. It's affecting your creative. How will I put it? It's they said the creative block thing, that is what is contributing it, because you're not going outside.
You're
If
not doing
a creative is a natural free
free person.
person, you are a free spirited person, so you need to go
You need
outside
to
there,
go out.
and you need to be able to draw inspiration. You need to network. If you're a photographer and you shoot people and you're not partying, you're not networking, how do you know people? How do you photograph those people? So those are the things that we need to attend to a
Yeah.
lot. I don't think a photographer should be an introvert. I think a photographer should be able to, unless maybe you shoot non-living things like rice and product shoots. I can understand that. Okay, you don't like human beings.
Okay. Yes, so I get that. And it's interesting that you said about, creative block and all that.
Yeah.
It happened to me recently. I was like, I need to step out. The day I came to your studio,
Yeah.
I just needed to be in somebody else's space. I just needed to
Yes,
relate with because,
yes.
I was just been in that monotonous office, home, office, home, office, home,
Mine is worse.
studio, home, studio, home, studio, home, and that's never really good. So that's another way you can get out of that. Go out, go somewhere else, see how somebody else does something differently, and, that can help to. So I'll ask you another question regarding you. What are there any specific challenges that you have faced as a lady in the photography industry that that most people don't know about? Because I've learned recently that as I'm a guy like this and I'm just strolling through life, it's not necessarily the same for ladies, and well, a little experience I had, maybe because this was like a couple of years ago, where I got into a client's place and they were like, "Oh, so this is you? Like, why are you charging that amount of money?" Right? Sorry, please. What are you using that amount of money to do? So, do you get
Really?
that as a lady, where people are like, "Okay, what kind of do you have?" Or maybe in the past.
Maybe because I'm already used to, from the first impression that you are a man, so I'm used to them being surprised about who is coming over to come and take their pictures, right? So if somebody, I'm already used to it, people being disappointed already before, not disappointed, or is it disappointment? Or what
Shocked.
is it shocked? I don't
Surprised.
know. Well, they're surprised. They're not, what they're expecting is not
Not what they get.
what they get, right? And that is okay. The most important thing is that you're seeing my work and you love it. And when I told you how much we charge, you thought it was worth it. So you're not really looking at, my personality. You like my work. So that's enough for me to stand strong and say it's not really about what they were expecting my look should be. But as being a female photographer, there's advantage and there's disadvantages, right?
Tell us.
But see, no. Okay, before I even go somewhere,
Good deal.
I will go there. I will go there. But being a female photographer, it's been life changing, and I would not say that I have not been through a lot of challenges as a female photographer, but there are, I for now I would still say that it's not really easy for me, and I think it's everybody that is going through that generally. But if I want to look at the female side, I'm looking at you getting to that stage where you say, I want to get married, I want to settle down, have children. I can't imagine that space, having children, getting married, and being a photographer. I think I'm already getting scared of that phase. I don't know how I'm going to handle it because I already see myself like this. I'm already stressed out.
And you don't even have all those extra things.
And I don't already have those extra things. And I'm an overthinker. I like to think. I like to work. I like to, I have this fantastic idea. I need to pull it out. So how am I going to do that when you are married? You have to attend to your partner. You have to take care of your children. You have to take care of your family. There's vacation. You have to cook. You have to be pregnant for 9 months. I'm thinking about that phase as when I see people like Eleanor, Joko, Posh Click, Yagazie, I'm like,
Kudos.
Girls, you did it. You did it.
Well, if they did it, then maybe you can do it as well.
I'm thinking. So I look at that face and I'm like,
and that's something that as a guy I don't have to worry about.
You don't have to worry about that.
That's crazy.
But these girls are still pulling it. They're still doing family portrait. Let me tell you, have you shot family portrait before? When you are seeing that, okay, mom is smiling, everybody's smiling, then the children are smiling. As you just carry like this, child will, picture is ruined. And we have to keep doing that. And women, because we are very emotionally attached to family portrait, kids portrait, we will shoot until we get that moment. Unlike you, that we're very impatient, like, well, I tried my best. My light's okay. On. My light's okay. Everybody's very sharp.
My light is okay. I'm done. After I click my camera like 5 times, but my light is okay.
But women, will we keep, because we are emotionally we are attached to those images. That's why when we are shooting women, when women are shooting women, we are a lot more soft. Women are drawn to coming to shoot with us because we can understand them. They'll tell this is my pretty side. We understand why it's your pretty side. We get you. So it's okay, turn on that side. But you are like, my light is here.
My light is here. Don't stress me.
But we have to carry that light to the pretty side.
That's why I like to have ladies on my team.
So you have to have anybody who is running a creative space must have women in their team. If you don't have a woman in your team, I'm sorry.
You're missing something.
A woman in your team will bring sweets and water.
Leave this point now, Mofe. It's okay. You have sweet and water now. Allow.
When I came, I told you I wanted sweets and water. I had to go and buy it. He doesn't have it in the studio.
I had water.
He had water though. He's a good guy. But sweets, at least something that will make the mouth busy. So a woman will be able to attend to the you guys are you men attend to the mechanical aspect, the technical the women will be there to attend to the
more emotional
part. Are you comfortable? Should we put on the AC? Is it okay for you? Do you need water? Okay, they want to use the bathroom. Sorry, hold on. Let me go and check if everything is okay. You won't be like, enter toilet, just go. Women will attend to those intricate details. Is it creative space? Maybe, okay, you're taking a picture and the woman's hair is flat. You'll be like, sir, hold on. Let me adjust the hair. She will not like that hair the way it is. So those are the things that's the reason why I always tell people, when you have put women in your team. And a woman who is in touch with her feminine side
as well.
It's very, very important to look at that, because this will help. Women are naturally creative people. You know why? Because we are the ones that invented cooking. We are, please give me the space to talk. When it comes, if your clothes tear, you say, okay, don't worry, I'll use needle and thread and attach it quickly. You people will dump it and go and buy another shirt. No, we will repair it. Women are the ones, we are the homemakers.
Agreed.
You don't know, just leave us.
I know, I agree now.
We are the ones that can improvise.
I know, I'm married.
When there's gari in the house and there is oil in the house, we create banga and create soup with that oil and leave it. Leave it to us.
All right.
So you need us in the creative space.
Of course we do.
But going to where I was going to.
Oh yeah, go there now.
If you have a partner now, your husband tells you should be housewife, and you like photography, choose that housewife work that says it's going to be giving you salary first.
Really?
It's not easy.
I beg. No.
No, but seriously, if the guy is saying that, don't worry, I'm going to be giving you like 2.5 million naira for a start every month, just take it easy. I want you to take care of the children, because really and truly, and to be honest, women need to start taking care of their children. We need a lot of child protection right now, especially what's going on in the world. So if you have the if you have the opportunity or you have that leverage around to take care of your kids squarely, I know it's interesting to work and earn money, but if you have that opportunity there for you, I think you should. I think being a housewife isn't a bad job. In fact, it is one of the best jobs in the
So,
world.
what, maybe like for a period of time,
Of
just
course.
to.
Yes, to be able to groom the children
So,
to
Mofe, are you telling us that when
because sometimes when I'm
you get married,
frustrated,
or you should get married,
uh-huh.
so we're not going to see you for a bit?
If he has money. No, I'm joking. I love photography. You can't take that away from me. But definitely, I would like to have a break. Mofe, please. You're saying this for the record. But I would like to have a break and like take care of my kids and, come back to business. I don't think I'm good at multitasking. I think I'm not good at it. I like to really focus on what I really want to do, be done, and continue. But I don't know if it's going to be easy for me.
Okay.
When we get there, we'll cross the bridge.
Okay. All right. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to go
So
down that,
women,
that whole.
it's a different thing, It's a different ball game. Women in the creative industry.
I'd like to have, other ladies' perspective as well. I can't wait to have, other female creatives.
Yeah.